Welcome back to Immortal Empires, where last episode we managed to take quite a sizable piece of Lustria over here to the western side of the island, or continent I should say. However, I did realise something very concerning when I just loaded this up and had a look around before I started recording. Melwyn over here has Stegodons and a Bastillodon with a solar engine. Who gave the High Elf some dinosaurs? That's not... yeah, that's not fun. So, we have that to contend with. However, first we've got Luthor over here. He has used his movement for this turn, so we were going towards Mine of the Bearded Skulls. I believe that is part of the province. Yeah. So the idea with Luthor, I believe, was to take this and then work our way down the coast and then work our way up from the southern part of Lustria before we finally just have to take the northern part. However, whilst we will still go ahead and do that, I think we're earning 3.4k gold per turn, so I think we can recruit a second army. And in fact, I'm pretty sure we need to recruit a second army because Melwyn over here is a big concern. We do have quite a sizable garrison here in the Awakening, but I am kind of scared about the dinosaurs in his army. So we do have Two Toes Adley that we can recruit back, of course. So bonus versus large, that would actually really help versus the dinosaurs. Plus 10% range and charge bonus for our army. So let's go ahead and get Two Toes Adley back again. And in fact, we're going to change this. Vampiric Corrupt, campaign movement range minus 20%. I want the one where lords will not, there we go. Loyalty will not decline for armies in the province. So Two Toes Adley will stay loyal to our cause here. And if we look in Raised Dead, let's recruit some normal units first. If we scroll down here, there we go. So what kind of units will we want? I think we're going to need something with anti-large. So we do have the Carronades here which can deal with that. I think the Necrofex is also very good at dealing with anti-large, right? We could get two Necrofex Colossus here. In fact, we could go for a Necrofex Colossus Doomstack, as to say. But maybe that's not what I want to do here. We could go Animated Hulks. They're anti-infantry, though not anti-large. What about Rotting Prometheans? Again, not really anti-large, but they do have good armor piercing and such. They also have pretty decent melee defense. We could go for some Rotting Prometheans. Although for now I think we just get the Carronades because it's only one turn to recruit. So let's just get some Carronades because they are very reliable. We've been using them all campaign so far. And then if we go to Raised Dead, maybe we can get some... We could get Zombie Pirate Gunnery mobs, I'm not sure. But we could just get some Zombie Pirate Deckhands mob as a cheap front line. So I think we will actually go ahead and do that. Let's get them into the army. Now, we have a building option for Two Toes Adley here. I don't think we need this building. Let's go into the building browser. I just find it a bit easier. We could go ahead... Buff... minus 5% upkeep. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. It's only 1,000 gold. There we go. And I'm not quite sure why we have this. In fact, though, we can make use of that. Because we can also... okay, I don't have enough money. That's okay. Now we have another notification here. What's this? I'm not actually entirely sure what's going on here. Resolve or skip this notification. I don't think there's anything happening there. Okay, so that's done. We will go ahead and check our diplomacy vote. We can get a non-aggression pact here with Grom the Paunch. I don't really care about greenskins though. Is there anything else we can have? Not really, so let's go ahead and end our turn here. We're going past turn 100. It's things are getting intense. We could be triggering the endgame crisis very soon.
I cannot guarantee your safety, especially from me.
So Grom wanting 1,000 gold for that non-aggression pact. Do you know what, maybe we will take the non-aggression pact because he's quite the way from us. Although, who's he at war with? Wood Elves, Bretonia. He is at war with the Barrow Legion though. No, let's not. Yeah, I don't want your gold. Okay, so Melwyn decided to sail over to Pox Marsh here. Of course, always Pox Marsh that decides to fall to the High Elf. I don't think there's any point marching our army over here. In fact, first let's go and handle Luthor. So Luthor can take this if he wants to. Yeah, that's actually not a very big garrison at all. So let's go ahead here. And there we go, declare war. So we will be going to war against Rakarth now. That's absolutely fine. A close victory, but low casualties, so we will go ahead and just auto-resolve that one. There we go. And of course, occupy. Dead Man's Chest, plus 20 armor and plus 12 leadership. Very nice. And of course, we now have access to this province. As who gained a level up there? Our Gunnery White gained a level up. Let's see what he got going for him. We can start going around down his crackle fruit tree now. So let's go ahead and give him crackle fruit. Very nice. And we actually have an empty slot on this army. Ah, yes, I remember why. I stupidly thought we could get a second Queen Bess. In fact, speaking of which, Tutos Adley, can't you get the Queen Bess? Oh, what's that? Whoa, okay, I need that, but in this army. Luthor, we've got some... I mean, maybe it's more useful on Tutos Adley, actually. Let's pin that. It's got Torch of Bogenhafen. Instead of salvos of cannonballs, the infamous gallows giant covered its enemies in a wave of incinerating fire. Wow. That looks amazing in the unit card. It's only 1,000 gold too. Joe, I don't think Luthor needs it actually, but Tutos Adley might to deal with Melwyn. So we will go ahead and just recruit that unit before I forget. There we go. The gallows giant over there. That's actually looks insane. Now I think Luthor's done for this turn, right? Yeah, we'll replenish, okay. We'll go and take the Golden Colossus, and then it's south to take these settlements. There we go. So that plan will actually end up working really nicely. We could also stop off and get this treasure map here. Can we dig for treasure with Luthor, or do we need a regeneration? No, we kind of need the extra regeneration from being in a settlement. Okay, so now Tutos Adley. Can you... How much raise dead can you do? I feel like we should just raise dead like an entire army to try and deal with the High Elves here.
I have arrived.
If we put him in force march, would that be okay? Or her, sorry.
What is your demand?
I thought Adley was a he this whole time. Lol. Anyway, so if we raise dead, we actually have a lot more units over here. I think these guys will help just because they're anti-large. And then maybe we can get some ranged units. Let's go for the zombie pirate gunnery mob. 160 range on these guys. There we go. That's all our gold for this turn. It should be hopefully enough to just hold off the High Elves there. And we do have a commandment for this. So let's go ahead. Let's just add some growth. We can get rid of this building. We don't really need it. Although, no, we might as well keep it because we don't get any gold for that. And we do have a spare slot anyway, just to build some economy. We have 1 gold. Very nice. Let's just check our diplomacy. Gromner Paunch still wants that non-aggression pact. Ooh, there we go. Manfred is interested in a trade agreement. Let's go ahead and get that. Very nice there. That should help our economy a little. Do we have any other agreements with Manfred? There we go. If I go here, we do... Is this Manfred? This is right. Okay, we have a non-aggression pact with them. Okay, that's cool. So, starting to team up with all the vampires here. However, I think that's all we can do this turn. It keeps telling me I can do something over here. But I'm not quite sure what. It doesn't seem like I can do anything over here, right? Yeah, no. This is paused. Buried treasure is damaged. We could repair it. I think that's maybe what... there we go. I didn't see that. Let's go ahead and end our turn. A new Slan Mage for the Lizardman. 2 new Slan Mages for the Lizardman, and another Wah fails. Our power shall grow greater and greater with every tide, so +5 growth as we get a new technology, and the Sword of Cain has been returned to its shrine. Cataclysm has been narrowly avoided for now. Okay, so whoever had the Sword of Cain has now left it behind. Melwyn decides to go over to Tlax here. Tlax actually has a bigger garrison, so all we're going to do is force march over here. Melwyn isn't going to attack, I feel, as long as we have Lord inside the settlement. But we can now research something new. I wonder, should we go down to salvage? Because there's not much useful stuff in here for us right now. Casualty replenishment rate, plus 10% for zombie pirate deckhands and zombie pirate gunnery mobs. But maybe in here, yeah, raise dead cost, stalk, ward save, banner, missile resistance. We don't really use those units. Spell resistance, those could be very nice. Casualty replenishment rate, yeah, there's some good stuff in here. So let's go ahead into the salvage tree. I feel like I might be being a bit picky with our technology here. There we go, let's go over to Luthor. And we can't reach the Golden Colossus this turn. The Dark Elves also have an army here with, wow, loads of monsters. Maybe I can come down in here. How much movement do we need for ambush to go into... Wait, does Luthor not have ambush? Although they're gonna see me, right, because of their hero there anyway. Maybe I can still try it. Although I think they'll see me. So we'll park Luthor there to try and set up an ambush. If we go back over to Adley, we can raise some more dead. Let's see, what should we get here? What's the plus 48%? There's a 48% chance that one of this unit would become available for recruitment next turn. Oh, okay. I see. Let's get 3 more of those. We want plenty of gunpowder. I do love the gunpowder. There we go. Sorry, that was a moth then. Distracted me. Anyway, so, back to this. So, this seems to be going well. This seems to be going well. In fact, one thing I do want to check is my missions. So, Harkon's Fractured Mind. There we go. Complete the quest for Slang Gold and construct the ancient vault building at the settlement known as the Awakening. Ah, okay. That's what I'm missing. So if I go into the Awakening here, that's what we want. The ancient vault. So plus 20% magical item drop chance. It's very... Oh, that's 6,000. 6,500. Okay, I'm going to stop recruiting units and save up for this. Because then at least we've... wrong button. I think at least then we've met our victory condition, right? And then we just need to sack 30 different settlements, which is basically... We're going to try and take all of Lustria. And then maybe we can go east. Who's down here? There's more lizards here. That's Oxyotl right down here. No, it's not. It's Tic-Tac-Toe. Okay, there we go. I don't really know my lizardmen banners, evidently. So then we can sail east, team up with Harkon and Manfred, and wipe out the lizards here. That could be very nice, actually. But for now, that looks like an end turn, so let's go ahead to the next turn. There we go. We did actually manage to get an ambush off here on this enemy army. We will auto-resolve this because it's a decisive victory with low casualties. So wiping out one of Rakaf's armies there. We got a Wand of Jet. So plus 80% power recharge. Plus 15-second increased cooldowns. Okay, a bit confused. Let's get the replenishment because we do need to go and siege soon. Oh, the dwarfs there trying to take Itza. That's a valiant defeat. I think I will go ahead and auto-resolve that, although let's see, what's the terrain like? It's a valiant defeat, so maybe we can beat them, but I don't know, that's a lot of dwarfing units there. Do you know what? Yeah, we can always take this back after, it's fine. Let's auto-resolve that one for now. So, enemy killed in battle. Very nice. Of course, we got the Wand of Jet. Settlement besiege. Okay, so Melwyn has decided to besiege Tlax, and the dwarves they're just sacking it, so that's okay. The reason I wasn't too worried about that is because we're coming down here and then working our way up north anyway, so we're not really under too much pressure there. And Alfarian picking up the Sword of Cain. So back to Luthor.
Yes?
Luthor has got 2 level ups. Wow, he's got quite the selection of skills now. So we look here, control, income from Ranger, income from all. We're not really interested in Forger. What about Poacher? Poacher could be kind of good. Bonus versus infantry plus 10. Let's actually go ahead and pick that up. Now I think we're done with this tree. Let's look at his second yellow tree. We don't really need charge bonus on him. What are we missing here? We could get plus melee attack and missile resistance, so we will go ahead and max Swashbuckler. Now I think we're completely done with his yellow skills. So now we'll go down the red tree. And if we look at our Vampire Fleet Captain, she also has another skill point. So we can get Tenacity. What's her magic looking like? Miscast base chance. I've never seen her miscast so far. But maybe we'll get that just to make sure. And then Loop Firewalker also getting another skill up. Let's see, Deadeyes is a good one, right? Armor piercing missile damage plus 10% and base missile damage plus 10% for allies in range. Let's go ahead and get that. Our Haunter also got a level up. We can get him some hit points, missile resistance, bonus versus infantry. So that's 8% hit points. Let's go ahead and give him tenacity. And then let's also go ahead and give him a Scarred Veteran there, make him nice and tanky. And then Adley, we will give Adley the Hunger so that they can replenish hit points in battle. Very nice there. They've actually got the Immortality skill to start off with. That's quite nice. Okay, so Luthor over here. We could actually take this settlement. Where is Rakarth? Rakarth is going south with a very, very scary looking army there. Okay, I think that will be a manual battle for sure. Let's actually... no, we need to save the gold, don't we, to build that building. It's a close victory with medium casualties. Let's just auto-resolve it, it's fine. We don't lose anyone. We can occupy this and then replenish over this turn. If we take a look, Luthor getting another level up. So now let's give him Inspiring Presence. And then we'll start buffing our army, depending on what kind of army we want to build around him. So, our Vampire Fleet Captain getting another level up. We could give them Stalk, that could be quite strong. Missile resistance, hit points. We could give them... We don't really use Spiteful Shot, to be fair, in battle. I mostly just use Vangeist's Revenge and Denizens of the Deep. Maybe we could get replenished troops, actually, that would be quite nice. Get some extra replenishment. We need to heal up so we can fight Rakarth. We won't build anything here because we do need that 6.5k gold. If we go over to Adley, we can't raise dead, right, because we're under siege. Yes, so Melwyn over here does have a 4 stack. What's our army like? We haven't taken attrition damage yet. We're going to have to march out and fight it. It's a Pyrrhic victory. And we only use 3 of our basic units. So let's actually go for that. There we go. And let's get the... let's get the gold. Because we're quite safe over here anyway. We have plenty of time to regenerate. And we actually have 8.1k now. So if we go over here, we can work our way towards... the Ancient Vault to restore Luthor's mind. That's built in 1 turn. Very nice. And then Adley over here getting 3 level ups. Oh, very strong. Oh, what's this tree? Ammunition, missile strength. Does that lock the melee tree? No, it keeps it open. Okay. So we could make them more towards melee or more towards ranged. Does Adley buff anything specifically? She does have, yeah, missile strength. So maybe we build her... we should build her for melee because then her army will be ranged, right? Yeah. So we make her tank. Let's give her some ward save and then we can give her some melee defense. Very nice. And I believe that's it for her army. We can perform a rite, but that's fine. And we zoom out here. We could dig for treasure, but we need that replenishment, so let's not do that. And we could raise dead in Luthor's army. We can get depth guard with pole arms. Oh, some really nice units here in raised dead. Wow. Okay. What do we want here? The sirens could also be useful, to be fair. They are quite strong units. We could also just get another unit of deck gunners. Of course, deck gunners are very strong. We do already have the 5 depth guards, so we don't need another one of those. I think I might actually go towards another unit of deck gunners. They are incredibly strong units. Although the siren... Yeah, let's go. So we're going to get the unit of deck gunners there. Very nice indeed. And then our remaining gold, we're going to level up Adley's army. Nothing really too nice in raised dead, so let's go ahead and recruit. And let's get Adley... So he has a buff to ranged units. So we already have the 2 carronades. Let's go ahead and get 2 mortars. Very nice. And check our diplomacy. I don't think there's anything new here. Yeah, nothing new here this turn. And we can actually build something in Tlax. So, I'll wait a turn because then we can build defense. So let's go ahead to our next turn here. Okay, these these end turn timers are getting quite long, and the Curse of the Bountiful Treasure has now expired, so we're going to lose some gold per turn there. New targeting techniques have been introduced to your army's training regimes, teaching the troops to focus on the enemy's weak points. Damage from missile weapons has increased faction ride as a result, so plus 20% missile strength for all armies. That's a very, very strong buff for us there, actually. Wow, that's incredibly strong, because we do have a lot of missile units. So, if we go over to the Awakening, we can now finally build the Ancient Vault here, so let's go ahead and do that. Done in 12 turns. Okay, maybe we should have started that a bit earlier. That's fine, it's going to take us more than 12 turns anyway, I imagine, to conquer all of Lustria. Now, we do have Rakarth over here. What I'm debating on doing, I'm pretty sure his heroes will see me though, is coming here and maybe going into ambush stance and try and bait Rakarth in for an attack. I think that could be very useful for us. Let's open up our rights. We can do the Curse of the Bountiful Treasure again. I think I'm going to do that. It does buff our gold per turn quite a bit, I feel. Maybe it won't show until next turn. I forget how it works actually. Oh, it's an instant gold. Okay. Interesting. Right, so what are we going to do with Adley? Adley does have some kind of army here. I think Adley... We can start taking Adley west to deal with the Sacred Pause, maybe. They do have a big army there. In fact, what we could do is recruit some units too. Maybe it's time to splash some cash here. We have our artillery set up fine. We have some range units, maybe some deck gunners would be good, but we already have these guys. So now what we really want is a front line, or we could get some more Necrofix Colossus. Looks like we're getting more Necrofix Colossus. Let's go ahead and check the diplomacy. Yeah, nothing happening there. Or the dwarves do want a peace treaty, but we know we're about to wipe out the dwarves, so let's not do that. Instead, let's go ahead and end our turn. If Rakarth doesn't fall for the bait, maybe we'll try and dig for treasure next turn.
Wealth for my coffers, or souls for my crew.
Okay, Ikit have ended their non-aggression pact with us. Hopefully they don't declare war. One of our forces has been detected while attempting an ambush in the Golden Colossus. Okay, yeah, so Rakarth seeing us there. And the Great Incantation of Kasabi, that's Harkon that's performed that. And another Slan Mage Priest for the lizards down here. Well, a new personality takes over the Coward, so minus 15 leadership, but plus 15% speed and plus 15% missile strength for Luthor there. Very nice. Okay, so can we attack Rakarth this turn? No, he's not in range. That's a shame. What's the garrison like here? I don't think it can hold up to this absolutely insane army by itself. So maybe what I want to do... It's a tough one. If I go down here, he's going to take this. But maybe that's fine. Maybe we should just march south and take all of these, honestly. In fact, I think I might just do that. So let's just go down here. And then if we really need to, we can save up enough money to get Curse of the Sea Mist. I think we might actually do that because we might need it just to defend against Rakarth here. But we will just keep going down south, take his remaining lands, and then see what he does. If he does take this, we have Adley who's preparing to come west anyway, so maybe Adley can deal with that. Speaking of which, we have two now. Yeah, I think Adley's army's ready next turn to go and deal some combat, so we won't build anything this turn. Let's check our diplomacy. Oh, military access with Sartosa. I think I might just do that just so they like me a bit more. There we go. I don't think it hurts getting friendly up with the vampires. And I think that's all we can do for diplomacy. We have quite a few turns left to do things. We have Clan Pestilence over here. Who is there? Skrulk, there we go. So he's controlling a tiny bit of land, but he is our ally. I hope he does manage to take some of the Lizardman lands, because then we can focus north, because we have to fight the Empire up here. I feel like they might be quite a strong opponent for us. Of course, plenty of access to fire damage, but let's go ahead to our next turn here. Death is no escape as we unlock a new technology there. Let's go ahead, see what we can get. Oh, construction cost minus 50% for ship buildings. Oh, that would have been so useful earlier on. Oh dear. Yeah, okay. But let's get the plus 10% casualty replenishment rate. Now that I know that's there, maybe we could do, in the future, maybe do a Noctilus run and just focus purely on shipbuilding. In fact, that could be very fun. Rakarth has actually landed here. He's taken attrition damage, so that's okay. If we swap over to our normal stance, we can take both settlements here. We could take the Gust... let's just take the Copper Landing. There we go. So a decisive victory there. Low casualties, so that will be an auto-resolve. Wow, taken hardly any damage there, actually. We will go ahead and occupy this. There we go. And is that all of our movement used up? It is. Sadly. We have 4.1k gold. Maybe it's time to start building some economy. We could also activate this. Ah, no, we can't, because it's on cooldown. Okay, for 6 turns. So that might not be very useful to us. If we go back over here, Adley should be ready to march. So I think the plan with Adley is to go over to the Sacred Pause here. Although, what's that garrison like? Oh, that's not as bad as I thought. I think it's because it's a Wood Elf settlement, and it's only really scary garrisons, right, if there's it does belong to the Wood Elves. Is it not faster to go this way? So dark... Okay, it's about the same. Right, so let's send Adley down here. And can we build anything here? So we could just level up our home settlement, to be fair. Let's see. We can't build slave pits there. We could level this up to level 2. What else we can build here? Any economy? We could build economy in here. So get the slave pits, or yeah, we don't have access to resources. So let's build some slave pits here. And then anything we can build down here in Quetzal. We already have slave pits there. What about over here? We could also build some more slave pits. Just really spamming the economy buildings. Also down here, let's do the same. Let's do the same. Oh, that's a plunder pile, even better. And I think that's all of our gold used up, right? Yeah, there we go. We still can build on Luthor's ship. Of course, we're tier 5 now on Luthor's ship. I almost forgot. Maybe we should be getting these. But yeah, although we don't really need to recruit at the moment, so that's fine. We will go ahead and just quickly check our diplomacy. Yeah, nothing available here. That's fine. So let's go ahead to our next turn. A major naval battle has ended, leaving hundreds dead on each side. Death is no barrier to continued service. As well you know, those who fell in battle would make fine new recruits. If we make haste and head off at full sail, the perished could be reanimated before they're lost to the ocean. We must decide if this boon is worth the toll it would take on our crew. Should we make haste or ignore the battle? So we can get, we lose casualty replenishment. If we get this, we get plus 15% campaign movement range, but also plus 30% campaign line of sight. Let's actually get that. I feel like that's more useful. And the famished have been obliterated. There is nothing left apart from the echoing laughter of thirsting gods. So we're getting closer to only having 100 factions remaining, or yeah, factions, which is, oh, this campaign's getting on a bit. As we got a level up for the Haunter, we can get Foe Seeker, so we can get towards this stuff. Let's actually give him Foe Seeker. There we go. And Rakarth is coming down south. Well, not... Ah, they're raiding now. Do we try and fight that incredible army? I'm actually really scared of this army.
What are we waiting for?
Can we even kill that army? I feel like that would be a very tough fight. A very tough fight. Tell you what we should do, because we have plenty of movement range. Let's go and take the Dust Gate. There we go. That's a decisive victory with low casualties. We should fully heal. And we will occupy this. Enables flaming attacks and plus 10 charge bonus. Interesting. And we do now actually own this entire province. Luthor gaining a skill up. Okay, so what do we have in his red tree? Melee defense for zombie pirate gunnery, zombie pirate deckhand mob and depth guard units. Ooh, that's very nice for our depth guard. Plus 8% ammunition for zombie pirate gunnery mob, rotting Prometheans gunnery mob and deck gunners. We do have deck gunners, of course. We also have the more ammunition for carronade mortar and Queen Bess units. We can get the physical resistance for rotting Prometheans, Leviathans and Necrophix Colossus. Missile strength for deck droppers, not so useful, and weapon this last one also not so useful. But all of these very useful. If we get this, physical... Ooh, I think we get this one. If we get this to level 3, we have plus 6 leadership for our depth guard and plus 6 melee defense for our depth guard. So let's get held together by screws here. Very nice. And... Noob Firewalker, finally getting immortality there. Nice that we don't have to unlock that ourselves. Let's go ahead and give him access to more powder keg. There we go. And I was about to check something, but I forgot. Ah yeah, the melee defense of our depth guard here is 58, so if we can buff that even more, they will actually be incredibly strong. I'm not going to build anything here because Rakarth can very easily take these settlements back. Now, if we go over to Adley, Adley is making his way over to the Sacred Pause, so let's continue his her journey, sorry. And let's check our diplomacy. I don't think there'll be anything here. Manfred starting to like us, which is nice. Yeah, but nothing really there to be had. Can we build anything over here? Nope. What about in this province? Yeah, damaged buildings. Maybe we should just build up this province. Let's go ahead and get Poxmarsh to tier 2. And that's that, although we could just build something here. Yeah, let's upgrade the garrison here on Tlex. And then eventually we will do the same on Poxmarsh as well. We can actually issue a commandment down here. Let's go ahead and campaign movement range minus 20% for enemy armies starting their turn in this region. because Rakarth, that would debuff Rakarth here. It might take a turn to go into effect though, but let's go ahead and end our turn. Oh, imminent rebellion. Where's this happening? It's okay. Well, Adley is actually here, so that's fine. That's actually incredibly good timing. Let's just set him. Sorry. That doesn't matter anymore. We're in 2022. There we go. So let's put Adley in here. And then if we have Luthor, I think we carry on marching south. Rakarth won't be able to chase us, so that's fine. If we put Luthor, Air Force March doesn't get us much further. So let's actually head down south. We can deal with Larian down here with a very small army. Let's try dig in. Maybe we can find a treasure map. Treasure hunt failed. Okay, that's fine. Of course, we're also experimenting that with Aranessa. Yet to find a treasure map this way, but I think it is a thing. So, any diplomacy for us? I don't believe there is. No manual battle so far this episode, but there's still a bit of time. Of course, really, I think we're heading towards the ending stages of this campaign now. In fact, if we go ahead to the Awakening, we have 8 turns left on the Ancient Vault.
What is your demand?
I don't think there's any point building here. This is where we want to be building stuff really and saving up our gold for, which is doing fine. So let's go ahead and end our turn.
The Pirate King is no pawn. I will end you.
Okay, Oracles of Zinch won a peace treaty for 600 gold. They're at war with Harkon and Manfred. So actually, yeah, we're not going to take that because our allies would not like that.
Are a problem? I solve problems by killing them.
Okay, we finally met Oxyotl. They really don't like us, minus 198, so we will be fighting against them in the near future. And Rakarth does decide to go ahead and take this, that's okay. Rakarth has looted this, but he also occupied it, so there we go. How damaged is his army? We can't see it anymore. That's fine. Luthor's all the way down here anyway. Our vampire fleet captain there, getting a level up. What should we spec them in? Let's get some more casualty replenishment for our army. I feel like you can never go wrong with casualty replenishment. Oh, okay. The army actually abandoned this settlement. I really can't pronounce that. A close victory, medium casualties, but we won't actually lose anyone. We can replenish over the end turn, so let's go ahead and occupy this. There we go, +5 leadership when fighting against Dark Elves. And if we check the replenishment, yeah, by the time we make it down here we should be fully replenished, so that's okay. If we go up here to Adley, can she reach the Sacred Pause? Not this turn, okay. And we didn't get a rebellion here, which is useful. But we might get one now in 2 turns, so that kind of sucks. But we will go ahead and take the... Wow, that's a lot of blessed units. Can we actually take this?
The sea brings death.
I do wonder. Let's go ahead and recruit some more units. Now, what can we get in here? It's quite... I think a front line is what we need, right? So we could get some animated Hulks. They're a kind of decent front line. Oh, not much melee defense. What's that armor like though? We could just get bloated corpses. Of course, we could just get zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Really not a good front line, but they do deal with stuff. We could get the pole arms as well, just for some anti-large. And then maybe we could get a deck gunner unit. Deck gunners are strong. We could even get... They haven't got very good range though, have they? Maybe another carronade, honestly. Just so we have enough to deal damage to any... no, we don't need another carronade. That's too much artillery. Let's just fill our front lines up with throwaway units. There we go, so it doesn't matter if we lose them too much. Just want to make sure I do have enough units there just to make sure we can win that battle. So let's go ahead and check diplomacy. Yeah, nothing there. So I believe that's an end turn already. So we zoom out. It doesn't look like we've gained too much land, but we have gained obviously all this Finland down here. We're actually heading down to the High Elves here too. Maybe we can... is that their home capital? That might just be. I'm not too sure. Yeah, they only have 2 settlements, so we could actually take out Melwyn, which would be nice because he has been a bother all campaign. But let's go to the next turn here. What can we do here? Just repair. Okay, that's fine. We can't take back a settlement there, but that's okay. There we go.
The winds may shun me, but I am still a master at inflicting pain.
Oh, the Empire finally declaring war against us. Okay, Adley really needs to hold that northern border there until Luthor can make his way back up. And, oh, a valiant defeat. Okay, but there's no reinforcements from the garrison. If we fight this... is that a slam mage? I think so, right? If we fight this manually, maybe we can win. That's a lot of blessed units. Ancient Stegodon. Ooh. Maybe we can win. I think we can win. So we will get a manual battle here right at the end of the episode. So let's take a look at the terrain just before we head in. Maybe we can work with this actually. We got a little choke point here. That could be useful actually. Although the trees get in the way a little. But let's go ahead and fight this battle. So here we go. This should be a very tough battle. As you can see, we've managed to set up with a little vantage point on the hill here. The initial place I wanted to set up was down here. It didn't look like it was water on the preview map. It kind of looked like cliffs or something. But yeah, as you can see, this really wasn't a good place to set up. The trees just offering too much cover for the lizard men. But we head on back over here. We have all of our gunpowder units and our artillery. They should be firing in any second now here. And let's take a look at our new Necrofex Colossus. It's frosty looking. There we go. Just a lighting glitch there. I was going to say it shoots fire, but it looks cold. Not quite sure what's happening there with the texture. Maybe that's intentional. I'm not sure. But you can see it's basically a molten Necrofex Colossus. As we see it go into combat, our Vampire Fleet Captain or our Lord there getting off some magic. And as we see him lower his gun, are we going to see him fire? Just walking straight on through, really. It seems to be going between 2 states of frost and fire, and ice of song of a song of ice and fire. There you go. As we see him go into combat, really not doing too much right now, and the enemy casting a spell there that might do more damage to their own units than mine, as they cast a. There we go. Yeah, that did do a lot of friendly fire. And the Colossus unit already crumbling, taking a ton of damage. If we go up the hill, you can see our units maneuvering into position here. And trying to flank us is some blessed Pterodon riders, but our gunpowder units do spot that and they decide to start firing on them. Of course, the trees do offer them cover. Maybe not a smart idea to set up right next to the trees, but we were restricted with where we could set up. So I think that was the best place we could afford. So Adley here, our legendary lord, or our lord, sorry, shooting into the enemy, and it looks like our Necrofex Colossus is about to go down as we see him shoot some flames. There we go, there's the flames we were looking for, but already falling apart and dying there. So maybe we did not make the best use of this unit. As we head on over here, plenty of shots going off as we deal with the Pterodons. But now the Chameleon Stalkers engaging our gunpowder units in melee. That's really not the best thing for them. Of course, no shields and very weak melee defense, so they will take a ton of damage. And now we begin to move in our infantry. The mortars crashing in And the enemy ancient Stegodon there going to attack our Lord. Or it looks like a gunpowder unit actually. Our Lord's just behind in the middle of some skinks. As we zoom in, let's get a view of her. There we go, a swing of the sword, but in the background you can see that Stegodon. It looks very scary. You would not want to go one-on-one versus that, as it just absolutely tears through our units. In fact, our units beginning to crumble already. We are taking a ton of casualties, really just caught off guard here by the Stegodon charging in. We do have some anti-large units trying to take it down, but they're just being moved around, and as you can see, the Carronade also firing a shot into the Stegodon. We're really just trying to focus this and take it down because it's doing a ton of damage to us. We have got it below 50% health now, as we see more Slan magic doing a ton of damage. Wow. It's, yeah, Slan magic is quite powerful, and the ancient Stegodon there is actually deciding to rout. There's another Carronade shot goes sinking into its flesh, and it looks like we might even be able to kill it here, as we see more Carronade fire. There we go, we do take down the ancient Stegodon, which is very important for us. As you can see, some of our gunpowder units have managed to set up, although they're not firing for some reason. I think that line of sight is maybe just blocked by the curvature of the hill. There we go, we begin to move them forward so they can get a better shot. You can see the enemy Slam Mage there in the distance, kind of not really being challenged by anyone. In fact, they just gave an attack order to come in. Maybe a mistake on their part, as now we can begin to focus them. The enemy unit there deciding to retreat, but another skink unit seeking, just sneaking through here. Although we do begin to target them, and we would do a lot of damage because, like our units, they do not have a lot of armor or protection. And our deck gunner unit there finally deciding to target the Slam Mage. They do have a bit of a shield, a barrier there, but we should melt through that fairly quickly. So we look behind our Necrofex Colossus. Our mortars, our Carronade still shooting in to assist, as we see another skink unit there retreating from battle. Over here you can see our Lord attracting the attention of many lizards. She actually managed to get off a mighty spell there. That will do a ton of damage. Mortars also crashing in. So it's actually really good, although her leadership is beginning to waver. We can't afford that because she will begin to crumble, as we see our halberd unit there also crumbling. Of course, if our Lord crumbles, then our whole army will then begin to crumble. We see some skinks there coming through to try and target our deck gunners. Hopefully we can make them rout before they reach us. They do in fact reach us though. Our zombie pirate gunnery mob firing into the side, so it shouldn't be too long until they retreat. There we go, they're retreating from battle. And in fact, the entire enemy now retreating. And I think now, there we go, we tell everyone to focus the Slam Mage, because we will have to fight them again. And if we look at the HP there, just absolutely melting away. Of course, we have a ton of gunpowder units, as we see them come down the hill. Just over 2,000 health left. Already doing a ton of damage. Mortars crashing in, Carronades crashing in, Necrofex Colossus. The Slam Mage is now out of range from our zombie pirate gunnery mob, but our deck gunners should be able to still get some long range shots off. There we go. And the Slam Mage is dead, and that will be a close victory. There we go, so we did manage to turn that one around, taking a lot of casualties there, but importantly we did manage to take out the Slan Mage. And of course, we did sadly lose our Necrofex, but it's just not very big range, so he had to go in close combat, and he got destroyed much more quickly than I thought he would. But our artillery working amazingly there, as well as our gunpowder units, and we did manage to get that victory. There we go, so a whopping 6,000 experience. We did lose a few units, but they were all units we could really afford to lose, to be fair. We could get that casualty replenishment, or we could just take... or we could get loyalty +1. Actually, let's get the extra loyalty, just so we make sure Adley doesn't defect. There we go, settlement looted the Dust Gate, and Rakarth did end up taking it. That's okay, And as the Blood God knows all too well, war is a meat grinder that constantly requires fresh supplies, which means recruits are not always easy to come by. On this rare occasion, however, there is a glut of bodies ready and willing to join the fray, so minus 25% recruitment cost for all armies would be very nice because we do need to replenish. But as we zoom out here, we've done okay this episode. We did raid a few more lands, or conquer a few more lands. Adley here should be able to take this next turn, although that's still a mighty force. But sadly, that's all I have time for today. I think 1 or 2 episodes and then this Luthor campaign will be wrapped up. Of course, we're just waiting for the temple to be built, and then with the War of the Empire especially, we should be able to reach that 30 settlement requirement. But that's all I have time for today. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode.